It's great, so.
And maybe this will be
All right, 6 o'clock, I call the meeting to order. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call.
Roll call. Gary Yaros. Here. Peter Rolu. Chris Rabish.
Sure.
Bonnie Holstein.
Here.
Paul is here. Katie.
Here.
And Mr. Duke.
Fred. Well, hope we got out and enjoyed the weather early before the wind. I mean, if you're a golfer, you were in trouble today. They tried to play later today. 2 days this week to get out. Okay. Any additions, deletions, or changes to the agenda? None, and motion?
So move.
Oh, did I move off too far again? No.
No. Approve the agenda.
All right, motion, support, and a motion is support. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Okay. Okay, community comments on the agenda. On there, then on the consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda, pay bills total $1,082,603.09.
Motion. Any support? Katie? Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call.
Gary Yaros.
Yep.
Katie Grubacek.
Yes.
Paul Grubacek, yes. Bonnie Holstein.
Yes.
Chris Rabish.
Yes.
Leah Rulu.
Yes.
Brad Duke.
Yes.
7-0.
Communication, Walter.
Thank you, Mr. President. Seeing the retirement of Miss Betcher and Miss Fenwick, hard when you lose good people that have been around for a long time, that, you know, they've got a lot of knowledge and have done great things for our students and staff, so they will be missed. Maintenance and work order program. Jeremy and I attended 2 different 45-minute meetings with a program review. We both like the FMX system, which is used by Bay City, Coleman, Sanford Meridian, Mount Pleasant, and there's some other ones a little further up north. What this program will do is improve communication with work orders and their status. So if a teacher puts a work order in for their room and somebody comes and looks at it and they leave because they don't have the parts, for another week the teacher doesn't think, well, nobody's even looking at it. They would put a note in, and they can even do it on their phone if they have it, you know, to say, got the problem, we know what's the issue, parts should be in. So it's just good communication to know where you're at with work orders. It would list the preventative maintenance and notify when upcoming services are needed. It can track time on tasks, where if we know, you know, cutting the football field takes an hour or changing this heater takes 2 hours, it can help Jeremy schedule things and know how much work we can get in a day. Keeps maintenance records and files for equipment manuals right within it. So if you go to a heater, you can pull up this thing and it will have the manuals if we put them in, and when the last maintenance was done on that. Can do more things for additional costs. There's kind of some a la carte things where we can add things if we wanted, but we were just looking at that preventative maintenance scheduling and work orders. It's a $3,000 annual fee, a one-time $1,500 setup, and that includes training. The other program we looked at was called Master Library. Was a little less expensive, but didn't have all of the capabilities. It didn't have a calendar view like the other one had, so it's way under the threshold for approval by the board, but we will keep you updated, and if there are any thoughts. I know it came to us from a site committee meeting as this might be something good, and I think Jeremy and I both liked what we saw, and we think it could do some good things. So
is that one station, or is that the price for the whole network? So all
that's the whole thing. Yep, that's for everyone. And we also talked about, so then do we have a computer at Linwood, at Central, because I don't want them to have to go back and forth to the warehouse every time they finish something if they need to put in notes. So there's some things that we would look at if, you know, if it's on their phone, if they have a smartphone, they can do it right.
It's a cloud program?
So the staff would be able to, like, if Gary put something in, they could punch it back
The
out
lights out?
and say, oh. You know, I mean, not, they couldn't go in and change anything, but once they put the order in, they could go back and click and, oh, here's work order, it's still open.
Yeah, they would see updates. There are
Okay.
certain things that the maintenance crew, when they put in the notes, but there might be some things that don't go back, you know, with
Okay.
whatever it may be. But for the most part, it's a good communication between the person who wrote the work order and the one who's filling it, so they have a combined, you know, idea of when it's going to be done and who looked at it. And
Okay.
yeah, it's really good.
So, wait, so do administrators only create work orders then?
No, teachers,
Teachers can as
teachers,
well?
staff, yeah, yeah.
I don't do that.
You don't?
I was gonna say, you may wanna,
Then we don't know what's going on.
yeah, you may wanna have them run it through.
High school does, right? In middle school?
Teachers can create their own, they'll email work orders.
Yeah. Okay, so that is.
They
But
create
administrator
$8
can-
too.
Yeah, some administrators may prefer to know.
Yeah, and we can do this too, where they would be notified.
Right.
Right
I
now,
mean, it'd be the same thing, it wouldn't really matter.
I've seen before where certain users you can grant access.
Yeah.
So Jeremy might have full access, but then maybe a teacher can only submit work orders and see those work orders that are submitted to her. That way she's not overwhelmed with too much stuff.
And that's the way this one is.
that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we used to write them up, but we would, administrators, well, you would have been one of my administrators. I think you initialed it before we put it in.
Maybe.
So, I mean, if it, you know, Gary created it and clicked it, it went to the administrator first.
And right now, I think there are some middle school and high school work orders that could go through that the administrators don't even know about because they don't see them. It's an email. Where now it would go to them, and they would have them and see them, so to see what the issues are.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's a lot more to do with the high school,
Yeah.
you know, take up a lot of their time.
Yeah, cool. Any other questions or concerns? All right, soccer press box update. I met with the architect that created the press box RFP. He was very confused on what thing. I don't want to say confused. That's not the right word. He didn't think there were things that would save us a ton of money, like we heard from the construction. And he, you know, we talked about the doors. And he said, I put in the same doors that are on like the dugouts in the, you know, the ball fields
Right.
where I wouldn't want a wood door or something flimsy, but he didn't think they were push doors. So after we talked for a while, his plan was to contact them and have a kind of communication to say, what are some ways you think, and if we need to change, we can. So they were going to talk about it instead of me being that middle person. So he was going to look into it. That was just on Thursday, so I haven't heard back yet on where we're at, so that'll go probably at the next board meeting. We'll put it back up again if needed. If not, we can do the same one and decide on it at that point if they think that there's
At
nothing
this
else.
point, there's nothing major, really. I mean, if they change the
Yeah.
door, it's not gonna save you 10 grand.
Doors and the roof were the main things that we talked about.
Yeah, but none of it's gonna save a ton.
It doesn't
so-
seem like it, but we're gonna get more more ideas with it.
Okay.
Severe weather plan for the buses, that came up, I think, Ms. Gorchak talked about that, and talking with Jeremy and remembering some of the conversations we had when that big storm hit last year. Our drivers are trained with severe weather conditions. The tricky thing with buses, it's not like a school building where everybody's in the same area, where if there's a storm coming, we could have a bus in Bentley and one in Linwood where we can't say all buses seek shelter because they could have blue sky over there. So they are trained individually. They know when to not let students off the bus, when to seek shelter. There are different things that they're trained on for that. So I wanted to at least give you an update on that they do have the training for that and are the experience. Retired teacher luncheon. Would love to have a few board members attend, even if you're not a former teacher. We have this out. I now have, we have 10 at this point retired teachers that have already RSVP'd and hearing good things, that they're pretty excited and just to get together and have a good lunch and kind of spread the word of the good things that are happening at Pinconning. So
We're both planning.
good. It's great. But even if you're not any other board member, I'm sure it would be great to be here for that. Website. We ready to? We had the website launch on Friday. So we wanted to show you a few of the things with our website. Now, we also have the app that came with this, that if anyone would like the app, which I'm really excited about the app, I had it on my phone, and you just search PASD on your app store, and it will come up. But this is the, what the website looks like. Is this the district?
Yep, this is.
This is the district page. And you can see we have news on the one side, live feeds on the other, the difference between them. And you'll be able to see that each building is similar. Oh, there's our retiree luncheon flyer. But the news are more stories, more in-depth with information. And the live feeds are kind of like a social media post where it has quick little snippets and you can add pictures to them also. And then there's headlines, and at the bottom are events. So if we go up and pick a school, a building, you can see at the top we have schools. If we pick, yeah, you can pick Central, that's fine. No, that's fine. Different pictures, which are really cool. I like the pictures that the buildings have selected. But then if you go down, same kind of thing, the news, the live feeds, headlines, and their events. If we go back up, Spotlight is a place where, in this being new, we have some things that we still have to add to, but we can put a spotlight on a student, on a family, has some pictures and things in there with, what it means to be a Spartan or a Linwood Lion, whatever it may be. And if you click menu, this is where we have the drop downs and the things for our parents. If you want to get the food, the lunch menu is there.
Brings you to a different website.
Yep. And then, transportation, school board. Oh, there's parent resources with the student handbook. So it's very clear and simple to find the handbooks now. Where in the past, I know sometimes we've had to kind of search for them at times. You go to the high school.
Yep. Sorry.
And there's a few more things with the high school where we have the athletics. And if you click that, you can see it's similar to our old.
Oh, one thing I noticed here, Andy, is when you click the schedules.
Yep.
It used to take us right to Pinconning. Now you gotta search for Pinconning.
Ooh, it shouldn't. You mean for the athletic schedules?
Yeah.
So on the left underneath schedules, we click on that. So I wonder.
I'll change that link today.
There we go.
Already fixed.
It's changed. Lydia changed it. She's on it. Lydia has been amazing with this. And when people have questions, I probably gave her 5 to 6 or 7 things today, and within 5 minutes they were changed. So she's doing great with it. But and then at the bottom, when you see the events, that's back at the home page. Sorry, it does have all the events, including athletics. But let's say we're a parent that doesn't have athlete, you can click off of athletics. Where'd that go?
Sorry. I might just have to click that one right here. Calendar.
On the left side is where we've seen. I don't see it now. But you can click off of athletics so you can just see the school type things. And I'm not sure. We're new to it also.
Just depends on what you click.
Yeah. So let's see. If I had anything else here.
Calendar view.
That's what I'm looking for. I don't.
Calendar
Oh,
view.
yeah.
That has
For whatever
everything.
reason, it's not pulling up on the left, but there is an option.
To click off of the.
So you can turn off different.
Yep. So if you don't want to see all of those.
Mhm.
If you go to staff, or where's the thing that can show all the pictures, I really like.
That's their information.
That's
So
all
Very top, is it staff?
Staff resource.
Nope.
The little square, there you go.
That's
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's all of our pictures. We do not have the ISD pictures yet, but all of our staff should be in there. I really like that, so our parents can see who their teachers are, who their parapro would be, who all of us.
So there was all those other staff options. Are we eventually just gonna eliminate those other ones, so they're directed to here? Or were those other staff options? that
So
you
the
said?
other staff ones is
You got
like
2 more?
contact school, but then there's also like an actual staff directory that our page you used to have. So then they kept like this information uploaded at the bottom. So if they needed, you know, our direct lines to our school number, they could get them, and then again, there's emails, but maybe that's something that they choose to eliminate because we have the emails on the other staff area.
And I think just from the things that we changed today by looking through it, there'll be changes. And if you see things that, hey, where's this? Or why don't we have it? Let us know. And we're still working and changing some things to make it fit exactly what we want.
I would say same with contact school. There's like our contact school information there, but at the bottom, you know, if you scroll down, there's like your basic contact.
So to switch to Linwood, you gotta log out of the, switch over to the Linwood.
Yep, you just go up to schools.
There you go.
Nice.
There's our Linwood.
Then you go to their contact.
And then at each page, if you go to the very bottom, does Linwood have it too? No, it's got to be the high school or middle school. Can you go back to like the middle school, the Wall of Fame? Is that
Yeah, I think
school?
that's high school and district wide. It's for sure there.
okay? So our Wall of Fame display that's out in the gym lobby, you can now look at it right from here. So you can see all of the class pictures and.
It'll allow you to pull the Facebook too, and we have each school linked. So Linwood and Central would pull their school page for Facebooks also, if needed.
So we like it. I like the look.
So the Wall of Fame, you have access to all the years of.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep. Just like you were standing in front of it. It's all right there. Yep. There's a lot we can do. And like I said, I think we'll continue to. Oh, there's Skyward. Yep.
Mhm.
Any parent that wants to get to their Skyward, it's right there at the very top. You don't have to search for it.
You could translate it.
Other languages.
Translates all of our news articles too. Everything.
Any questions?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. We're happy. We are happy. So moving on, if you remember when I came back from the midwinter MASA conference, I was lucky enough to have my name drawn for a $1,000 scholarship for Pinconning schools. What I've decided to do, and I worked with Mr. Stonebeck on this, is 2 lucky seniors will be receiving a $500 scholarship at the senior awards night by random drawing. So seniors who have attended Pinconning High School for 4 years and have completed their FAFSA application are eligible. Students can also earn multiple entries into the drawing by answering a few short questions on a survey that I emailed all of them. There are things like your GPA. The higher your GPA, the more entries you get. AP tests taken. So if you've taken 5 AP tests, you get 5 entries all the way down to 1. Varsity sports completed this year and clubs and activities that you've completed this year get different entries. So I found the program that has a big wheel like the Wheel of Fortune, and every student, if you have 10 entries, your name will be on there 10 times, and we're going to spin it. And everybody will be able to see the 2 students that get a $500 scholarship at senior awards night. So something pretty cool, something fun, that a fun way of giving those scholarships out. And if if it works as well as it seems, maybe we can find a way to keep it moving forward and, you know, have the upcoming years do that as well.
You're gonna spin it right at the awards night?
Yeah, right, yeah. I'm
So the
gonna
winners
put
might
some,
not be there.
they might not,
Yeah.
but they should be. I would, you know, a lot of our seniors do go.
Most of the seniors
So, yeah, yeah, most do. I think that's it for me. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Student rep or
I didn't see
any
the
information?
information.
I do report. The administrative staff, John?
At Central Elementary, in regards to our website, I want to thank Rhonda and Emily. Emily Bosworth, who took a lot of time to do our webpage and that kind of thing. I mean, it was a lot of work for them to do, a lot of work. And also our 5th graders will be coming to the middle school. We have a group coming on Monday, the 21st and Friday, the 25th to spend a little transition time between elementary and in the middle school. So they'll be doing that next week.
Sarah?
I'll start out with our students of the month for March. Our freshman student of the month was Macy Mead, and she was nominated by Mrs. Maxwell. Mrs. Maxwell says that Macy is killing it every one of her classes. She pulled all A's first semester and is continuing to do so second semester. She's always prepared for class, attentive during the lessons, and completes her work on time. What a great start to her high school career. Our 10th grader is Isabella Kolb, and she was nominated by Mrs. Manor and Mr. Borton. They say that Bella is an exceptional student, brings positive energy to chemistry class, and is always ready to help her classmates. Bella, throughout the school year, has constantly been a student that accomplishes their work and accomplishes it well. She has always participated and is kind and considerate to everyone around her. Bella, throughout the school year, has constantly been a student that accomplishes their work and accomplishes it well. And it looks like they just repeated the same thing. So that's Bella Cole. Our 11th grader is Colin Herzberg, and he was nominated by Ms. Corky. She said that Colin has come such a long way since his freshman year, and it shows through his interactions with his classmates. He cares deeply about his friends and wants to see them grow and succeed, and he also has grown in his ability to make and keep goals for himself, and isn't afraid to ask for help when those goals are harder to manage than expected. And I would absolutely agree with all of those statements about Colin. And our senior, who is also our overall winner, is Maria Harrow. And she was nominated by Mrs. Rose. And she said that Maria has been my student for 3 years. She works hard, has a great attitude, and has done things that others are afraid to do. She is not easily intimidated and stands up for herself and others. She said, I will miss her when she graduates and wishes her well. I would say that's another student who I have seen grown immensely over the past 4 years, just really in all facets of life. So those are our students of the month. Last week we started high school testing. We are now in testing season along with every other season possible. So we had PSAT, SAT for our 8th grade up through juniors, our ACT work keys for our seniors, not seniors, for our juniors, and our M-Step 11 last Friday. So check in the box for all of our high schoolers. Is definitely a different atmosphere this year. Watching them test, they definitely, I think we're nervous, but a good nervous that they knew that it's just more and more stakes in the game. So that was good. We continue on with testing tomorrow for M-Step 8, and then next week we will wrap up regular testing with M-Step 6 and 7, and then we'll go into makeups for that. So we just continue moving forward. A lot of moving parts. Could not do it without the help of our 2 counselors, Mrs. Miranda and Mrs. Palmerville. They have worked tirelessly to help get that underway. And then AP testing will be here before we know it, which then graduation, and it's just a race. It is like, this is the sprint now to the last day. On Wednesday, Mr. Kowalczyk and I get to go take our all academic team from the Jack Pine to their luncheon at Dow Diamond. So they're hosting us. I was able to calculate and nominate 8 students. We had a first team with 4 students and a second team with 4 students, not necessarily in the top 10 of their graduating class. I was able to take their GPA and calculate that with their SAT scores. And then they came out, and actually the first, they're all in jumbled order compared to the top 10. So that was really neat to see how much their SAT scores affect what their GPAs are. But just so neat to highlight the really, really positive things that our kiddos are doing. I have to say that's one of my favorite things I've been able to do this far as a high school principal. So we get to go take them to Dow Diamond on Wednesday and just honor them for all the work they've done. And then lastly, we have a youth advisory or youth advocacy group that we will be partnering with the Sterling Health Clinic. So they've come now for a couple of months, and then in May there's a youth advocacy day. So we're taking a handful of kids to Lansing for that day to just kind of learn about the different things, just pro healthy things, anti-drug, anti-bullying, just very pro-student type of thing. So I'll learn a little bit more about that myself on kind of what that day looks like, but we'll take a handful of those kids down to Lansing and just see what they have, and hopefully that will kind of snowball some more positive interactions for our kiddos here.
Can you tell us who the all academic kids are? Or they
I
don't know?
can.
They don't know yet.
Yep, they do. I actually gave them a newsletter.
Does Jack Pine use the same matrix you use?
Yeah.
Does the whole conference use the same matrix?
Yes, yep, they give us the whole template and we have to go in, and I will find it real quick. They have to go in and calculate all of them, and we just I pulled up everything from College Board, and that was just really kind of a neat thing. in there to go in and calculate how all of that. I'm so great with technology. Here we are. Okay.
Thanks for the website.
Okay.
I have it right here. So our first team, our first is Logan Milliman. Our second is Trinity Briggs, who also happens to be our valedictorian. Our third is Josie Wieland, and our fourth is Kaylee Rail. And then our second team, all academic, our first is Jordan Kowalczyk, who is our salutatorian. Our second is Stratton Briggs. Our third is Connor Woodcup, and our fourth is Kenny Ron. So really neat. Not all of those kids are on the top 10, which I think makes it even more fun because we get to honor those kids who they just worked their butts off. Seeing some of their SAT scores too is just super cool.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to start with student of the month for middle school for the month of March. For sixth grade, we had Annalise Brawley, who's brand new to our school, actually, just started in January, was nominated by Mr. Pitts. He says, Annalise has worked hard in her short time at Pinconning Middle School. It has been a pleasure to work with her, and she puts forth a good effort on all classroom assignments. She is very pleasant and respectful to those who work with her. For seventh grade, Violet McKeon, she was nominated by Megan Corky. Ms. Corky says, Violet has been working so hard to rise to the challenge of 7th and 8th grade band, and I couldn't be prouder. Even when faced with difficult music, Violet works at it bit by bit to make sure it sounds exactly as it should to fit within the ensemble sound. She's also risen to the challenge of being the only person on her part in a particular piece, and even though it can be a daunting task, Violet takes it on with pride. In 8th grade, Merlia Drouse, nominated by both Mr. Borton and Kristen Maxwell. Merlia works hard and has made great progress academically in writing and history class. She is respectful and polite to everyone. She's a hard worker. She is always prepared, organized, turns in very neat and detailed work, and is willing to help others. Keep up the great work. And she was also the overall middle school winner. Some updates on middle school. I'm supporting a parent group that would like to see a parent-teacher organization started. We had our first meeting tonight. So hopefully that can get going and we'll be in full swing for fall. Kind of our collective goal is to really improve like culture in the middle school and just support appreciation, staff appreciation and things like that. We are in the throes of preparing for a field trip for 7th grade and middle school student council and also 8th grade graduation. We did a crumble cookie sale a couple times, once the end of March and once last week. That went really well. CJ's also supported us the Wednesday before spring break and donated 20% of sales that day. So we earned about $600 towards 8th grade graduation to support the cost of the student meals. But we're kind of shifting to more community service grant funded efforts, I guess, right now with support from some parents who have applied for grants through the Bay Area Community Foundation in partnership with Dow for $1,000 grants to do some community service. So our 7th grade entire student body, as long as they have permission, will be going over to Doc Letchfield Park to do some cleanup of the ball fields. And we will get a $1,000 scholarship to help support their loons trip May 2nd. And then we have Camp Fishtails for next Wednesday evening from 5 to 7 for 8th grade. Again, it's open to parents, their families, and then the 8th grade student body to do a 2-hour cleanup. And that $1,000 scholarship will support their 8th grade graduation costs as well. As Central talked about, we have 5th grade transition days planned for next week on Monday and Friday. So we have 2 classes each day coming over paired for a majority of the school day, I think. Eating lunch, doing passing time, sitting in classes, basically paired with some good 6th grade leaders to go through a whole schedule. And then they'll finish right after lunch when everybody's dismissed in the bleachers with a good talk from me and our counselor just on scheduling and things like that. And 8th grade graduation's coming up May 29th. We start at 5 o'clock at the Cheese House with dinner and awards, and then the students will actually be bused back to the school to get away from their parents. Parents are not invited. We've been very clear about that for an hour-and-a-half dance from 7 to 8:30 back in the middle school gym, and then and that's it. Thanks.
back to the fifth grade. John, how many do you have coming over?
62.
Oh, yeah.
20.
Are they coming on the same days?
So my class, my class is going with one of John's.
Okay.
There's 4 classes going totals, 2 and
Okay.
2. 2 on the 21st and 2 on the 25th.
Yeah.
All right. So just a couple things. Right before spring break, our Linwood students earned 6,000 Pride tickets. And so for their 6,000 Pride reward, they got a pizza party that was donated by Hungry Howie's. So they donated 20 pizzas, a little swag bag for every student. They actually came for our Friday morning assembly. We had Hungry Howie mascot dressed up, so it was pretty cool. The kids had a blast. So now they're working towards their 7,000 Pride ticket reward, which will be going to the Midland Center for Arts to see Step Africa at the end of April. So that's already in the works. And then I'll have to come up with 8,000. Last year we only earned up to 7,000, but we're getting those Pride tickets this year. Jeremy and his crew brought down 2 soccer goals to Linwood last week. Huge hit. So thank you. Now we have actual goals for recess and not fences. And then just a quick shout out to Emily. Emily Sylvester. She's a high school, middle school cook, but she came down to Linwood to cover for a long-term leave. She's just rocking it. She is doing just an amazing job. Our breakfast numbers are up. Anytime she's serving a hot breakfast, we have anywhere between 90 and 95 kids. We only have 126 total in Linwood, so it's a good chunk of our kids are getting breakfast. Even just the cold breakfast numbers are up too. Lunch numbers are up. So she's doing great things. So's Annette. Annette came down. She started about a month ago as our assistant cook helper. So 2 new people in the kitchen right now. It's great. Lastly, for Linwood, on April 25th, we're going to have an assembly, calling it like a citizenship award assembly. We've been working closely with Meyer and Associates these past few years, where once a month, Mrs. Meyer from Meyer Associates will come and recognize some students that are doing great things at Linwood. They get a t-shirt, candy, a $25 gift card. Well, on top of this, their charitable foundation nominated Art School to receive bikes. So we're going to have 12 students that are going to be rewarded with a new bike and a new helmet on April 25th. So that assembly is at 1:45. The parents will be invited to attend and then hopefully bring the bikes home. If they need help getting the bikes home, we can help them out. A lot of great things happening at Linwood. Curriculum-wise, we are going to be meeting with the elementary math pilot committee at the end of April. The department meeting from last month was mostly spent on all the teachers looking at math curriculums, and they chose up to, I want to say 7 or 8 curriculums that they're interested in, and those are the 7 to 8 curriculums that the pilot committee will take a look at, and then they'll narrow it down to 2 curriculums that we will pilot in the fall. So it'll be piloted both buildings K-5, and then we'll go from there. Because we have one more, we're going to do My Math for 1 more year, which is just workbooks. A lot of good stuff. And testing will start in 2 weeks. We're starting M-Step in 2 weeks. So, there we go.
Jeremy. Okay.
I got nothing.
Hey, any of
Everything's
your
fixed.
guys gonna be in Linwood?
Yeah,
I'll get with you.
okay. I guess the only thing
What's going on?
we have to do something with the playground at Linwood. I really don't know what to do with it. I think I know what to do with it. I have a guy coming in, kind of look at it, but
In what respect?
I don't know if I'd call it a playground, really. You don't have much.
It's underwater again.
Oh,
yeah, it's flooded. It looks to me like that's where the ground water level is, you know, if you kind of look around at the ditches, and I think we need to fill it, but I have a contractor coming in. And I can't wait for the grass to start growing.
Ron?
Yep.
Jay?
In that group.
Sorry.
The last one, Captain. Okay, board committee, the personnel committee meet.
Personnel committee met tonight and we talked about a couple different things. The SRO contract, the Bay County sheriffs or police versus the Pinconning city. We got both of their proposals and Andy will be bringing it back at the next meeting on who he's going to recommend. Basically, the same proposals as last year. You remember what we had last year where Bay County will cover high school, middle school, central, and Linwood. The city of Pinconning can only do this area, and you would have to get someone else to do Linwood at an additional roughly $10,000. So Andy will bring back for the next meeting what he's gonna propose. We talked about a MTSS coordinator. And you can talk to Dr. Braun about what that's all going to cover. I know there's going to be one K-5 they're looking at. And the 612 may also be part of an assistant principal position. So Dr. Braun, can you just tell us real quick, couple sentences, what MTSS
Yes.
is going to cover?
Yep, so that's our multi-tiered system of support, that helps identify kids. We like to have kids all on tier 1 as our base, think of a triangle. But then they can help identify kids who need a little bit of extra services, but really working with those teachers and how to help meet their needs where they're at, and then bring them to that basic level of that tier 1 where we want all kids to be. So they can work with our teachers in both academics and behavior, and really helping identify either interventions or just things in class as a systematic thing.
And the majority, if not all of those two positions would be covered through title in one way or the other. Andy and Dr. Brown's going to get back with the job description and different things in the future on those two. We also talked about the AD teacher position that's currently being covered right now by a teacher. And Andy will be bringing that back to us on what we're going to do in the future. We need to talk about salary schedule for non-affiliated employees. That is basically the non-union employees. In the past, we've just kind of, every year, every couple of years, we would say they're going to get X amount of an increase, a percentage increase. Well, now we kind of have to have a long-term written down what that's going to be. And Andy's contract is going to be at the end of 3 years, coming up shortly. So we think that President Doobie and Mr. Kowalczyk will get together and bring back information for us on that.
I think in the past, didn't Mark, have you get like comparable districts, what they were making? Well, actually, it
I've
wouldn't,
never
wouldn't
been in
be
this
you.
position, so I don't know. I can check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go from there, whenever you.
And then we didn't talk about it, Andy, but what about the position at the administrative office that the lady retired, resigned last month, we accepted it?
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's-
We didn't talk about that
that's-
position, which, yeah, that's, Catherine has posted it.
It posted today,
Okay,
and hopefully, the plan is to have somebody in place at the end of May so that they can sit with her all through the month of June.
it's gonna be the same part-time,
Mhm.
basically, okay.
She's not affiliated, is she?
Yeah, non-affiliated.
A discussion in there?
Where'd you post it, Journal?
Like on our website and Lydia posts it to Indeed and.
We've had 5 people apply, but I felt like one day I should have just waited until tomorrow to send the email, so I haven't sent her the email, just in case we get more this afternoon, so far, 5 people.
How many teachers we looking at right now?
We have one, right?
that we
Or no, we
know
don't
of.
have any.
I mean, other than
Yeah,
knowing
no,
that
We do
We
have
had-
one English
one that we
teacher.
may need or not.
One we might need,
Okay,
but we're looking at numbers with the counselor to see the scheduling for next year.
okay.
Other than that,
One else.
Special ed's pretty well covered.
we are covered.
We
Covered.
don't have anybody sneaking a retirement in.
Not that we know of. It could happen, but not that we know of. We just have the one that we know of that put in.
And they're all certified teachers?
Yeah, all highly qualified.
Yeah.
Not a bad spot to be in.
No.
Okay, then the driveway, non-consent driveway. Driveway. You want to hear any more information?
You want me to I'll make a motion to approve Sokoviak and Sons. Being the low bidders, at $31,200.
What?
So,
And here it says 25. Oh, with the other, okay. Yeah.
I was gonna-
With the parking lot.
I was gonna do both while they're here.
Yeah, that's
That's what my motion is.
32.
Andy set up some communication already about it, like looking at the best option, once you rip it out, then
If there's a bigger problem, we would bring it back.
Well, that's what I was gonna
Yeah.
ask, is I looked at it again today. Did someone cut through our driveway? Somebody run services through there? Cause it looks like it's,
Not in the
other than that, it
3
looks
years
to
I've
me
been
like a condition we see in industry where we have, loading docks. You have a area where when the semis pull away from the dock, they tear up that asphalt and you have to pour concrete there. And I see that's right at the,
Where they're stopping
Where
and
they
they take
stop
off.
and they take off.
Oh, that
and
could
so I
be
think
it.
if you, it could be the weight of the buses when they're coming in and out of that driveway.
So going at a steady pace isn't a big deal, but
No,
stopping and then
It's
taking
just that
off.
one area by the, when they're coming in and starting and stopping.
Oh, that's what I
That-
thought.
You lay asphalt again, they may just tear it right. I mean,
Well, it's been there for quite a while.
it's been there since the addition.
So
It's been
09.
16 years.
Yeah,
But
16.
he did say that they would dig that spot up and see if there's a reason why, it may have done that.
But if it didn't, if there is no reason why, then that's the reason why.
Well, then
Do
our
we do
choice is, do we
blacktop
wanna do blacktop again for another 16 years? Cause concrete's gonna be more. It's gonna be another 15% over
Is
that.
it-
Yeah, it's not approved right now.
Concrete's
And I
gonna
don't know
be 15%, but
if we can actually concrete through the road though. Because I don't think the county,
Would you need a curve?
well, I don't think the county will let you have a concrete approach. I think it has to be a
What's that?
blacktop approach for their snowplow.
Yeah, I think you're right, by right.
We can look into it, yeah.
Cause that is you know, you see what I'm saying now, though? You see where that spot is?
Yeah.
It's right there,
Yeah,
where they're stopped.
we've seen semis too, when they make that turn, their steer tires kind of slide.
And
And
so you're gonna
over
move it.
time, it just kind of keeps sliding.
You could put a concrete pad in there.
That's what I was suggesting, is maybe that needs to be padded,
wouldn't be
that
right.
asphalt up closer.
Right.
That would be approach, you have to
Right.
blacktop.
Or if we wanna cut that bad spot out and pour concrete there.
Right.
If you, I've just made this motion now, so if you wanna get quotes on concrete for that area, you could see.
And then also blacktop over it, or
No,
keep
it
it
would
just
just be
the concrete in that area?
So how much you want, do you just wanna do?
Just the
like
bad
where it's
spot.
tore up right now?
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Cause this, what I just accepted is the whole length, right?
No,
Well, it's to repair.
it's wherever it's.
Just that
Well,
spot.
it's from the road to like that gate. Basically.
Your asphalt guys are gonna tell you how close you can come to that road,
Yeah,
and then they'll say, hey,
Yeah, I
we'll
trust
concrete
the
up to here,
Kubiaks.
and then that
They're-
last
they're
3
good
feet,
folks.
they'll do
Yeah.
asphalt or whatever they say.
just
Yeah.
keep that, might wanna mention that, and if
So
they're
that-
gonna dig up the base. Yeah. They may
Do
need
you
to
want me to
put
get
more
bids on
base.
concrete then? 'Cause I can get,
Alternative, yeah.
Yeah.
Why
I
not?
mean, we could still keep that,
Right, we
Mm-hmm.
can,
and then we could just go farther into the drive. Because that's to like that, where that gate is there, from the road to that gate.
You
So if we
could,
put a concrete slab in there, we just take it, what is
Yeah.
it, 20 feet?
Mhm.
We'll just take it 20 feet farther. So them numbers won't change for the blacktop.
no,
we just-
no, the concrete would probably be
You
about
could
8 feet wide.
approve the
Flat
possible
lane road.
percentage increase you think it is now, if it's needed, and then we wouldn't have to bring it back again, unless you want us to bring it back again.
Bring it back, it's not urgent.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll get some crock.
Unless somebody wants, so we're gonna vote on this anyway.
You wanna go with it? Work for now?
Go with this, and if they say concrete's better, we'll bring it back.
Bring it back.
It's only gonna be probably 8 feet of concrete across that pad.
It's
Pretty, it's
pretty
bigger.
big swaths there. It's the width, it's the length of a bus.
Oh, okay.
It'll be about 30 feet. The
30
wheelbase
feet,
is
2
30
layers
feet.
of concrete.
But if it's not, then it's approved and they can go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Motion,
Motion support. Yep.
any other discussion? Roll call.
Jerry Yaros?
Yes.
Holstein?
Yes.
Leah Roden?
Yes.
Chris Ravish?
Yes.
KG?
Yes.
He's a yes. Brad Hughes?
Public comments. Greg, the only one that didn't get to speak. Oh, you did a little bit. Okay. Any other discussion items from the board? I don't know if everybody got, we're not gonna do the Spring Institute.
Yeah, everybody's aware. Okay.
Couldn't get rooms at either hotel closed, and was through the roof. I was speaking with board members at another school, and Liddy was thinking that ISD does it too. They book the rooms way in advance. Because I know, Grand Traverse is enough, but the casino next door, I think, is even more than Grand Traverse. So, first Holiday Inn down the road's tabling on $250 a night, so. We could pretty soon check in and see if we could get some rooms over there. We can cancel them later, that's what Linden, that's what they said they do, they book them and cancel them later. Any other discussion? Anyone?
Oh, with the Booster Club, we talked about the track meet, the big track meet coming, and a lot of the Booster Club is going to be up in Boyne City for the baseball. So not a lot of people to man the concession stand, and I don't know if we could handle it anyways. So they're contracting a couple of food trucks to come in and do it for us, and it sounds like a pretty good idea.
Is that being run through the boosters or the district?
I think the Boosters is going to handle like getting the right people, and then Andy will handle like where they're going to be at. We just talked about it.
He is now.
It's something different, but it sounds like something we should do for this type of.
What are we gonna do for parking on that day? It's Saturday, right?
Chaos. It's a Saturday, and it's also the Saturday of our musical.
Yeah.
Would you like,
So it's gonna be busy.
do you
It's,
think I should reach out to like Con Air there, just across the road, their big parking lot?
yeah, that might be,
Oh.
yeah,
I know those
people
folks.
want to,
Or if you wanna reach out to them just to see if they would mind on Saturday if we use their lot. Something to think about.
yeah, we thought about
From the community center?
Town and Country too, because there is a gate
That'd be nice.
on the north side of Town and Country by the sheds, not on their main parking lot. We wouldn't want to,
Right.
when they're
You
open.
remember the chamber?
Hmm?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, you'll be talking
Yeah.
about that. That comes closer.
So yeah, we're thinking of other ideas, what we can do, because it's gonna be, Yeah.
Doesn't even open.
You want them parking over by the baseball field?
yeah, probably
We're
will.
probably gonna have to, we have to watch, it.
Yep.
It might be muddy. You know.
Shop.
Hopefully it'll be correct.
Yeah.
Let them park, check them, pull them out.
There you go.
And then the signs are going up in the fields. I think Wednesday night. The signs are going up on the fields, and all the kids' banners and all that kind of stuff will be on.
Another motion,
Motion to adjourn.
motion support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Yeah.